Chapter 4 A Worldwide Tragedy. A few cases of the flu might not seem like a big deal. However, the flu is highly contagious. One sick person might spread the illness to several others. Those others spread the sickness to even more people. Some people might travel and infect people living far away. Before long, the flu has spread around the world. The spread of sickness. When a sickness affects many people in a small area, it is called an outbreak. If it suddenly spreads to a larger area, the problem is known as an epidemic. Worst of all is pandemic. This is a situation when a disease spreads to several countries or possibly even the whole world. The flu pandemic of 1918. The world breathed a sigh of relief when World War I ended in 1918. Millions of people had been injured or killed during the war. But just when people thought they could relax and return to their normal lives, another threat emerged. A deadly flu pandemic that ended up claiming more lives than war. The virus first appeared in the United States in January 1918, when the soldiers at the base of Kansas began to fall ill with the flu. This flu was more serious than any officials had seen before. They alerted the U.S. Public Health Service that they were dealing with cases of severe influenza. Within several months, the flu has spread around the globe. Not enough doctors. Many U.S. medical workers were overseas treating injured soldiers. As a result, some communities has no doctor or nurses available to treat flu patients. The PHS had only 700 officers on duty. This was not nearly enough to deal with the fast-spreading virus. Even when PHS doctors and nurses were there to help, they often fell ill themselves before they could treat patients. A national disaster. Unlike most flu outbreaks, which are particularly dangerous for children and the elderly, the 1918 flu epidemic struck people of all ages. In some places, entire families were wiped out. Philadelphia was hit particularly hard. Adults got sick and died. Many children were orphaned. So many children lost their parents that the city's Bureau of Child Hygiene was overwhelmed and could not care for all of them. Cities and towns took drastic measures to keep the flu from spreading. Quarantines were put in place. Schools, theaters, restaurants, and even churches was closed. Public health announcements urged people not to sneeze, spit, or cough in public. Some communities passed laws that required people to wear masks when out in public. No protection. At the time, no one knew that the flu was caused by a virus or that masks offered almost no protection. With no effective way to prevent the flu, the pandemic continued to spread. By the time it ended in spring 1919, nearly 675,000 Americans had died. As an estimated 50 million people died worldwide. In fact, nearly as many people died in the flu pandemic as in World War I. Most families were affected in some way.